I wanted to, and this is not part of the prepared questions, and I'm going to put them on the spot here because we have a little time. But I think with both your backgrounds, you'll probably be able to answer this with ease. And so, given that this session is about AI, right, and we're talking about the current climate and the current use cases and all that, where do you see the direction of AI in terms of what would you like AI to, if we're talking about a 3.0 version of AI, right? And how do we instill that into our industry? What are some of the things that you would want to see?
So I think Drew hit on a couple of good things there. So from one aspect, Gen AI, we're actually dabbling with it very fundamentally, rudimentarily in our development capabilities. So we're actually looking for some of our cycle batches, running that, looking through reverse engineering code from old COBOL. For those of you in the insurance industry, you know how much old COBOL sits out there. So looking at it from a pure technical perspective, so that's one of the use cases that are less business driving, but definitely could potentially create scale and leverage our actual developers for more of the creative, forward, innovative thinking for our next generation of technology. So I'd like to see it take a role there because we're all sitting here with 60, 70-year-old platforms that you could get something out of that from a Gen AI perspective. From a front facing to the clients, I think there's a lot of potential, as Drew said, for ingesting the data that we know and understanding our clients and then creating an automated journey. I think we spend too much time worrying about our space and how it is very much a people conversation. And I think the next generation of agent and the next generation of policyholder will come to expect some sort of digital journey or digital interaction. And it's not just, like I said, not the policyholder, it's also the agents. I think we spend too much time worrying about, well, you can't have an AI send out something to a client about a next best action. These products are too complex. I think that's becoming untrue. I think people are becoming more familiar with it as it becomes part of an asset plan or as part of an investment strategy. So I'd like to see us push more toward direct connection between the carrier, either via the agent, right, white labeling stuff for the agent, because I don't believe agents are going anywhere. But I'd love to partner more with more agents and say, hey, we're going to generate the journey for you. We'll white label it with you and we'll send it from your mailbox. But we want to make sure that we're owning that conversation with our policyholders and really driving the conversation with them. And then also, even for the agents themselves. We don't use a lot of AI for product design. We usually tend to chase each other. So if someone raises their rates or does something different in their core, we follow, right? We all follow the leader in the annuity space and even in the life space. I'd like to start using some data-driven AI to help us with product design. Why do these products need to be so complex? Can we simplify them in a way that still generate the value for our policyholders that they do today, guaranteed income for life, or all of the good stuff that comes with an annuity policy? But how do we use data to drive potentially a more innovative or a simpler annuity product or permanent life insurance product? Like term is simple enough. I think the gentleman before us talked about you can sell term online, pretty easy. But permanent life insurance with underlying investable assets, that's the kind of space I'd like to see where we get some product innovation from AI. Most people talk about it from an automation perspective, service center, scale, routing calls. Sure, that's part of it. But I think there's deeper uses of AI that we should be looking to use within our space.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think one of the things that the AI can help us do is, we kind of more historically in the business, the approach to everything was like, let's think about everything in big buckets. So there is, first of all, from a carrier perspective, the view is always a product view. Is this a term product or a whole life product or an annuity product or so on and so forth? And not necessarily from a policyholder view, because the policyholder view makes it way more complex because they own a few of these products and they have a more complex journey with you as a customer, with you as a company. And this was kind of the agent territory. But in today's economy where there is turnover in the agency business, and customers have different service expectation, being able to use this to kind of start building these more complex journeys and understand that this customer have multiple touch points with you and to be able to serve them with the right thing at the right time becomes more crucial. And for that, you have to use AI because it just, the technology that enables you to kind of unpack all of this complexity. One of the examples that is very straightforward that I really like is that in this economy, you would see two customers not paying premium. and one would not be paying premium because they can't afford it, and the other one would not pay the premium because you sold them on a 2% guarantee, and today you can get 5% guarantee anywhere. And those two customers, if you treat them equally, they're both not going to last. But you need to be able to say, hey, this customer sits on this bucket, they might need a premium mode change, and let's talk about how we make that journey very simple, because today it's not. And this customer maybe needs an upsell or a cross-sell, maybe need to convert to a different policy, and let's make that journey very simple, because that journey is also not very simple today. And if both of them is something that we can loop the agent into this equation and make sure that the agent either get paid so they're not intimidated by this, or even take an active role because they get the insight and get the customer in the room and they can help them make the pitch, then it's a much more valuable discussion for the customer that drives better performance for the customer and better experience for the customer with the agent and with the company.